Greetings and salutations, fellow skeptics. Welcome to your weekly dose of Java and Jugs. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan. And if 2025 taught us anything, is that our government will look you dead in the face and say public safety and then roll out policies that feel a lot like state-sponsored terrorism. So today, the J&J crew are talking ICE, rights, immigration, and probably some theocratic authoritarianism along the way. I think. Welcome back, folks. Good to see you. Hi, ladies. Join me up here. Great to see you.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, goodness. So, protests.
They're
already happening. Do we
yeah.
need to cover why? I don't think we need to cover why. For those of you who've been under a rock, you remember George Floyd? Like that, but even more violent.
Right. Even like shot dead in the face. So
in the face.
In the face, man. Like, how brutal is that? When someone's trying to leave too, trying to flee. Yeah.
It's very upsetting. And so
it's
people
very
are upset.
upsetting. It's very upsetting. I know me personally, I've been doing a lot of palm sweating, watching the news like 24/7, trying to keep up to date. And I think there's probably a feeling across this nation of just confusion, anger, disappointment,
terror. Because what do you do when it's your government that's the terrorists?
Right. Intentionally stoking and inciting violence.
Yeah, one of the things that I've even seen a lot of people who are kind of like, whatever, like we'll be done with this in 3 years, that turned around and was like, okay, this is out of hand, was the fact that they came out minutes to a couple hours after it happened and flat out lied. It's obvious they lied. If you've seen the video, they're obviously lying. And they're like, what? Like, they can't hide the fact that they're lying this time. They just can't do it just because everybody has seen that video.
And immediately they were giving press releases. They were condemning her actions. They were calling her a terrorist. I mean, they took the opportunity to jump on that story before anybody else could get word out there. And Lilith, you were saying like behind the scenes about legacy media and there not being coverage of what's happening because they know if they can get on the story first, if they can present an idea first and taint the American public's opinion of what happened, then they'll have a greater chance of people just sticking to that, even if it's not the truth, even if it's proven not to be truth.
Yeah,
the first lie they hear rather than put the thinking in to determine what's true. That's why that old saying, a lie will make it around the world before the truth gets its boots on. With MAGA,
write that down.
The truth doesn't even get to leave the station. It's just nope, the lie is all there is. That's all there ever was. It's all there ever will be. And it's wild that, like Lil, you were saying, legacy media is just not reporting on anything. Because I talk to my international friends and they still think that while there's biased media in the US, that the liberal centrist stations or whatever, the fact that stations get polarized by a bias is itself bullshit. Like, just because there's extreme right-wing stations does not mean that every other station is left-wing just because they're not repeating right-wing talking points. But never mind that. What used to be left, what used to be center, what used to be neutral, what used to be unbiased, they're not covering things. People around the world keep expecting CNN or ABC to be relatively neutral. They aren't. It's all state media now. CBS's takeover was very public, but the others are also taken over. All of them.
Yep.
And that's one thing that, like, I try to point out is, like, independent media is the places that are covering this stuff. You just kind of have to figure out, obviously, independent media, they all have their own they all have their own individual biases, but I get asked a lot, like, how do I pick the bias from how do I pick the bias from the news stories? What I'll do usually, and I've kind of developed the sense for doing this since I've done it for years, but I'll usually watch the same story from like 3 or 4 different independent media sources, and usually you can suss out what's the facts and what's the bias, so at least you know the facts. But all of them are covering the protest and being like, this is big. And the thing that surprised me is that there was a huge one in Dallas. Not even a local station covered it. It was huge.
And so disappointing. How can we trust these companies? You used to be able to turn to at least your local station and feel as though like they care about what's happening locally. They're not going to lie to you too much locally about politics, but
yeah, we have some
what's
that
the use of them? If you can't get the news about what's happening, what is the utility?
Yeah, I mean, we have some that are. Yeah, we have some that are owned by like Sinclair Media and other places that are just so hardcore right wing that one of the domestic news sources that are usually pretty good with at least getting the facts out there. They're still biased in there, but they are that's pretty decent with the facts. Is usually NPR. NPR usually does a decent job with getting the facts out there, at least if you're looking for something national. They're not controlled by the government anymore. Like they lost all of their funding. So,
I mean, they weren't controlled by the government in the first place, but also
but
bias. That's an artifact of what we were just talking about earlier about how if you're not an extreme right-wing station, then you're anti-extreme right, which itself is that's bullshit. That's bullshit propaganda. NPR has gone out of their way to be neutral, unbiased, even when there should be a bias. Like if you're reporting on, say, the murder of George Floyd, there should be a bias because you have values, but they go out of their way to avoid that, which created a bias in the other direction, which was very unfortunate.
And I agree, but I mean, if you're looking for the like straight, like confirmable facts of what something that happened, regardless of the bias, they're usually pretty decent on like the actual facts of the matter. So, but that's what I've found over the last year.
Well, with Larry Ellison, I know that he's bought out. He has CBS, CBS Paramount to say, or he has Paramount, Skydance, CBS,
and
TikTok.
He's trying to get CNN.
He's trying to get CNN, and I mean, there's a lot of stations that fall underneath that umbrella that you don't even like Nickelodeon, MTV, and stuff like that. The fact that that's legal for one person to have so much control over our media, like there has to be laws. We need to, as soon as we get this all situated, we need to have laws against this. We cannot have this happen again. Independent media is so important.
Oh, but it's not him. It's his son that's running it all.
Well, we do have laws, right? We have anti-monopoly laws. We have antitrust laws. The problem is when they don't get used, they may as well not exist.
So why aren't maybe there are lawsuits, maybe there are people trying to, I don't know, get onto. There has to be. There's no way that the smart people aren't trying to fix this.
And arguably, this is a feature, not a bug, because people went out of their way to elect an executive administration that will not enforce certain laws.
Indeed, that's definitely true. And like Larry Ellison is a shady freaking character too. This is not the kind of person that you want having grubby hands in our country, in our media, being able to indoctrinate people. Absolutely. He's like the largest personal donor to the IDF. I mean, that's redunculous, the amount of money he sinks into it. And so basically the money that we're feeding him, he just feeds right back into stuff that's going to harm us. That's what I hate. That's what I hate when like we have to participate in the cycle of violence. Like we don't have too much choice.
I mean,
Sometimes
that's
you have
just
to buy the product.
capitalism in a more obvious form, right? Because
Yeah.
the entire premise of capitalism is taking the product of your labor and using it to violently oppress you.
Mhm.
That's the whole thing and always has been. It's just much more overt now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And opting out of the system is just, I mean, if you need a phone, right? If you want to work, if you want to keep in contact with your kids, with your friends, if you need a phone, you're probably going to have to buy a phone that was made by exploitation of rare earth minerals, of children. I mean, who knows all the downline process where people are harmed. So what do you do?
Mhm.
You just don't have a phone? No, you can't just not have a phone. Maybe you
I mean,
can
you
mitigate
can.
by buying used. Or, well, you could. I mean, hey, there are people who still have landlines, I'm certain, and don't have cell phones. I don't know how I don't think I could do it. Just sorry, I don't think I could. But I'm keeping my phone as long as I can. I think this is a 14, so I'm going to do my best to not have to upgrade. But at some point they get you because then the phone becomes a brick.
Mhm.
Well, stop buying Apple products. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm possibly thinking about that.
Yeah.
But I
I've
don't know
been
what it-
Android all the way. You could not pay me enough money for me to take an Apple. Won't do it.
Like this pretend phone, it's an LG something or another. It's like 10 years old and
Mhm.
it doesn't have phone service. I don't know if it could get phone service, but it functions just as well as it ever has. The battery doesn't degrade. It still runs apps. It does what it needs to do. It's the same
And
as it's always been, as far as I can tell, you know?
Yeah.
speaking of phones, and I just
And
think
it's
this is
like
more.
when I bought it new, it was like $100 instead of
Oh damn.
1,400 or whatever the fuck Apple is
Yeah.
charging now. And the camera is much, much better.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Speaking of phones, this might be important later, but I want to mention it now just in case it completely slips my mind. If we're talking about anybody who's going to a protest, I would highly recommend you leave your regular phone at home and go get one of those cheap little $30 burner phones. That way
Yeah.
you have a way to call if you need to, but they don't have your regular phone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the big tips is
Mhm.
so
'Cause they're
we've all
tracking
prepared
you.
some various suggestions.
Don't even bring it. Don't put it on airline mode. Don't turn it off. Just don't even bring it. Leave it at your house
Yeah.
and take
They've
it from
created
them.
an
And they're like
information
30
pipeline,
bucks.
basically. There's an information pipeline because of these big tech companies.
What are some
And
of that
it's
option? I understand some people don't even have option.
is
Mhm.
hello, Kelly?
We're getting the spirit of Kelly from the great beyond.
Kelly, are you there? Are you with us, Kelly?
Yeah, I'm trying to see what's going on.
Yeah, we're getting you like spotty.
Yeah,
Very spotty.
I don't. You guys, what's going on? Yeah. You don't see me? What's going on?
No, we can see
Yeah,
you.
we
But
see it. It's just your
there's a
audio is
big
a
lag.
little weird.
Yeah. We hear your
I'm
voice.
getting
but
really
the
irritated
doesn't
to
Yeah.
internet. I'm hardwired. I'm about to go back.
Are there too many things open on your, like too many programs running or anything?
No, I closed everything out.
What was I saying about phones? I was saying
The ass
something.
open is this right
Leave
here.
your phone because there's a
Oh,
bunch
yes,
of
yes,
I'm
yes.
about to
That's
just
what I
kick
wanted
out
to
the
talk
show
about.
today. Hello.
So about leaving
Yeah.
your phone behind. If you take your phone, just remember that they are tracking you
It's like
because of
lagging and
programs like Palantir and people like Larry Ellison Teal. I mean, they've got all of your information and it's all being fed to ICE. Like they can look up your name and find out everything about you. Eventually it's all going to be like tied to banking, to warrants, to you name it. They'll have everything about you in front of them. So be very, very mindful about taking your phone with you. If you have to take your phone, make sure you take off like the face ID or the finger ID and just have like a passcode, because they can force you to open your phone with their face or with your finger, but they can't force you to input a password.
Yeah.
It's one of the good reasons to not bring it. But there's also the geotagging. Be careful with photos. Even if you're using a burner phone, be careful with like, just don't bring your own phone. Just don't. If you must, then turn off your Face ID, your fingerprints, and so forth. But
Yeah.
just don't bring the damn thing, because it geotags your location. You can see your, like, where you've walked year in review. They can track you with it. Leave it home.
It's just you're so much safer if you don't. Kelly, I'm sorry, you back, baby? Can you hear us? I don't know if I feel like there's a big lag or something for some reason.
There's a big lag.
But what, David, who's David? You worried about ICE? David, yes.
I think it's
I'm worried
me.
about ICE.
I'm gonna have to go.
They just killed a U.S. citizen. Yeah, everybody in the country should be worried about him.
They killed a citizen they've killed many citizens. They killed one back in 2020.
Yeah,
I forget
but
how
this
many
one
people.
was just
40 plus people have been killed in custody. There's hundreds of children that are missing. And if you're not worried about hundreds of children missing, David, I think there could be a serious empathy problem here.
And let's also keep in mind
just
the
empathy. It's that who's next, because they've demonstrated none of y'all's asses are safe. They can and will shoot you in the face and not care. So,
and keep in mind,
what would make you protest? What would make you stand up and say enough?
Like, this
Where's the line? Do you have one, you chicken shit?
No, she didn't try to run him over. She was going away from him. He shoots her in the head 3 times and then calls her a fucking bitch.
Yeah, that's anger. Like, he was angry and he wanted to take it out on somebody. And then they didn't allow people to do any kind of resuscitation to even check her over to see if there was a pulse, because they wanted her to die. That was intentional. They do this to incite violence. And if you don't see that, I think that you're delusional. The fact that you're not worried about your mom and your sister and your nieces and your nephews out there alone with men who will zip tie them and throw them into the back of a van and they can disappear, you're delusional. You really, really are. That's all I can say.
No, just a troll.
Low IQ
just
when you
fucking troll.
So you use an ad hominem attack and say low IQ. Okay.
So it's okay for him to call her a fucking bitch. Okay.
Right. Exactly. The amount of cope from these dudes is just crazy. Bend over, but keep bending over for Trump. How does that boot taste?
It's like Chemical Scroll says. It's just rage bait. Once you say someone talk about, I saw the video, how can you say she didn't try to run? You didn't see the video, or you did and you're lying. Either way, fuck off. So
anyhow. That's I watched the video once. I have not looked at the other ones because it just, and the other ones too, like, I just can't watch. It's very unsettling because I feel like it's citizens fighting citizens, right? These guys don't have training. They don't have proper training. A lot of them can't even do the proper amount of push-ups or run, or can't even pass the written tests. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're getting like the bottom of the barrel type dudes. And I think this woman are frustrated because they want to marry an ICE agent, but none will.
I am happily single.
I think that might be
very much happily single.
Well, remember, the people who join ICE because they're absolute failures in every other area of life. They failed out of high school. They've been divorced at least once, often because they keep beating their spouses. They're the bottom of the barrel losers that no one wants, which is why they run around shooting women in the face, because they're incels and they're very angry about it. So that's just hilarious.
They had to take the sit-up requirements off because so many fucking people were failing.
They keep failing open book tests.
Oh, that just makes me laugh so much. Oh my goodness. That's just too
And
Oh,
much.
I have
goodness,
had
goodness.
legitimate law enforcement and former law enforcement officers say straight up that the way that they handled that was the exact opposite on how they're trained. These guys
Oh,
don't have
it goes
training.
against their code of conduct. They are not
Yeah.
allowed to impede a vehicle whilst leaving. They are not allowed to shoot a fleeing vehicle. He did everything against the law, everything. And if you watch the entire video, you will clearly hear her say, like, she's trying to get people out of the way. And then she's like, I'm going to go. I'm leaving. And he doesn't care because he wants people to be afraid. Like, this is the chilling effect. They want people to go home. They don't want people in the streets. They want people to just quietly let freedom die. And people are angry, rightfully so, because this is affecting communities. And if you allow people to come into your community, especially outside people, right? Like, a lot of these ICE guys aren't from the areas that they're going into and bullying because they would be embarrassed for their neighbors to see them, and they know their neighbors would call them out. So they're going other places to instigate so they can just walk away quietly into the night. Did you see that one guy who came to the protest and lit the flag? And people were like, boo, 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 don't like that flag. Like, stop. That's not what this is about. And then he lit the flag, he ran off, and they followed him because they were like, why'd you do that? Why did you come here just to light a flag and then peace out? And he refused to answer. He wouldn't answer any questions. So they're intentionally instigating. And there's a lot of IDF soldiers, criminals who are in ICE, bottom of the barrel, because they are willing to do anything. They don't care. They'll happily murder people. Like, they talk about recidivism and the prison system and prison and how criminals they are, yet you want to give them guns and release them out into the streets. And JD Vance says they have immunity. They can do whatever they want to protect themselves. Oh my gosh. Like, the amount of, oh, Kelly, she left. The amount of simping and bootlicking is astonishing to me. Like, I'm
Well, it's not
gobsmacked.
just simping.
Don't tread on me,
It's
Amber.
not just Big Daddy's got a big dick. It's
Ooh, Daddy got a big
the okay for the militarization, for the takeover. He's saying it's okay because he needs those troops in the streets so he can be king, Like, he knows El Dictatore's days are numbered. He doesn't have long left, and he's next in line. He also knows he's profoundly weak, and no one in MAGA respects him. So he needs that private army in place on day one.
That's true. There we go. I forgot we can put the comments up there because Kelly's not here right now. Yeah.
It's pretty neat. All right, so enough about Trumpenstein and all that assorted bullshit. Protests. How can people stay safe? Now, you have some visual aids. Do you want to do yours first?
Sure, we can do that. Or whatever you prefer. I don't mind. I don't care.
Hey, I'm just here. It's all good. I mean, I have some resources from the Human Rights Campaign and some other stuff, but you have cool visuals, so I wanted to look at those first.
Well, I don't know how cool they are, but sure.
They look pretty cool to me.
And I have to admit, y'all, I've said this before. I'm not great with the Constitution. I'm not great with geography. There are a lot of things I did not pay attention to because I thought I would be dead by 16. So I'm doing my best to be more familiar with my rights. It's really important that we know our rights, especially if you're going to be out there protesting, or if you just happen to witness, some ICE detaining someone and you want to record. So that's what this is more about, just some of our amendment rights and recording, and why we legally are allowed to record. So yeah, just basic First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, and we're owed our due process, and that's really what they're trying to take away from us. And due process is owed to everyone in this country. So when they're just detaining people without even taking their ID and then sending them off to another country's citizens, like Abrego Garcia, what's his name? Abrego Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I'm talking about. But he was taken illegally. And that's why he is now back in this country. And just because you look white does not protect you. It does not protect you whatsoever, because if ICE wants you, they're going to get you. Let me switch to this one. Okay, this one I felt like was kind of more important because it's about the filming, because they're trying to say that we're not allowed to film, that we're not allowed to protest, or if you protest and you get shot, well, that's what you get for it's just so weird how people are okay with undermining our rights because they don't like seeing people stand up to Trump and his Gestapo.
Rights always take priority over policies, if there even is a policy. Remember, ICE is legally allowed to lie to you, and they will.
They absolutely will lie
Not
to
that
you.
they care about the law.
Yeah, they can use anything you say against you. Same with police. They can lie to you to catch you up. They'll try to say your name. You know, they'll pretend like they know you. They'll do anything to get you to stop, and so they can detain you. So if they do try to stop you, ask them if you're being detained. If they say no, there's nothing they can do. Just walk away. Just walk away from them. That's your best bet. And of course, if they do try to detain you, don't resist, because you know them MFers will say that you're trying to kill them, that you rough them up. You know, they have like weaponry on and backpacks of chemicals and stuff. But yeah, you and your coat and your mask are going to harm them. What's this Department of Labor post? No, I did not. Nitty, what's it about? I'd like to know.
Yeah, let's see what we can find out about that.
Yeah, I'd like to know. And when you're filming too, just a reminder, if you are filming for posterity, like so that way you can share, so you can show what's happening, so you can show the scenery, it is best to record horizontally. You know, if you're like super up close to someone, then it ain't gonna matter if it's sideways or what. But if you're a distance,
that's a really good tip. Like really, like so many people are used to TikTok. Film however you can, but if you think of it, horizontal is much better. You see a lot more of the scene.
Exactly. Like I get it if you know you're live streaming, that's just whatever. But again, you probably shouldn't be doing that if you're at a protest, because remember, they're reading your data. They're looking at everything about you. Is there anything else from here? Oh yeah, like if you can't record, like for whatever reason you can't record, you don't have a camera, write stuff down. Write down any kind of identifying, like tattoo. If you see a tattoo on the ICE guy, write down whatever kind of car he gets into. If there's a license plate, a lot of times they're taking off their license plates or unmarked cars. So there's not much identity. Do whatever it is that you can to identify locations, street names. If somebody is being detained and you are recording, holler out to them. What is your name? Give me your phone number. You know, try to get some kind of information from them so you can contact that person's relative. You know, if you're able. I know it's difficult, like PTSD hits, who knows like how you're going to react, but if you keep this information in front of you and just try to cycle through it, it'll start to become like second nature. And I think I've said, I mean, I don't think there's anything else on here, right? Oh, like consent to searches, they need a warrant for that. Like they're going to do what they want to do. We've seen them do what they want to do. But again, if you know your rights and you're standing up to somebody, I think there is a likelihood that they'll back down more and go for an easier target.
With ICE, though, in order for it to be like a valid warrant to like come into your home or business, it has to be signed by a judge. If it is an administrative warrant, you don't have to do anything. And also they have no jurisdiction over U.S. citizens.
Yes. And it because you said that about like the difference of the warrant, it's probably important for wherever it is you live, like your local area, find out what that would look like, you know, because I just see a freaking letterhead and a, you know, department of something. I'm thinking, okay, that's legit. So familiarize yourself with what a judge signed warrant would look like.
Right. Actually, we should pull up an image of that. Actually, Lil, you have the thing from Mamdani, because he
yes, I do
show an image. Yes.
Oh, does he? Mamdani.
Yeah. So here's some tips from America's favorite socialist. Momentarily here.
Yes, I've got it right.
2 G's.
Okay, here we go. And let me share my screen.
I know there's so many buttons to get through to share on this platform.
I know. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Here we
Okay,
go.
and
Oh, sorry, Amber. I had it.
all right. Can you
Do I
turn them
need-
up?
Yes.
If you encounter ICE, these are the things that every New Yorker should know. First, ICE cannot enter into private spaces like your home, school, or a private area of your workplace without a judicial warrant signed by a judge. That looks like this. If ICE does not have a judicial warrant signed by a judge, you have the right to say, I do not consent to entry, and the right to keep your door closed. Sometimes ICE will show you paperwork that looks like this.
That's an
Tell you that they have
I-200, by
right
the
to
way.
arrest you. That is false. ICE is legally allowed to lie to you, but you have the right to remain silent. If you're being detained, you may always ask, am I free to go, repeatedly, until they answer you. You are legally allowed to film ICE, as long as you do not interfere with an arrest. It is important to remain calm during any interaction with ICE or law enforcement. Do not impede their investigation, resist arrest, or run. If you encounter ICE, these are the things that every New Yorker should know. First, ICE cannot enter into private spaces like your home, school, or a private area of your workplace without a judicial warrant signed by a judge. That looks like this. If ICE does not have a judicial warrant signed by a judge, you have the right to say, I do not consent to entry, and the right to keep your door closed. Sometimes ICE will show you paperwork that looks like this.
Yes.
And tell you that they have the right to arrest you.
All right. And yeah. That
I
is,
dropped a
yeah.
link in the chat for what those look like, because the people who aren't familiar won't know the difference. But that the I-200 says U.S. Department of Homeland Security at the top. It says warrant for arrest of alien. That is not the same as a judicial warrant. That's not even a legal warrant. It's just paperwork.
Yes. So, and especially considering if they're approaching somebody who maybe doesn't speak English very well, it's easy to trick people. So, yeah, arming yourself with information knowledge is the best thing that we can do. That is the most repulsive comment. If that woman had listened to this video, she would still be taking her kids to school. I think if that man wasn't so angry, she would still be taking her kids to school.
If that man was not handed a gun and told he can do what he likes, she would still be taking her kids to school.
If this country didn't hate people of color so much, she would still be taking her kids to school. Yes, my comment was factual. Thank you. I'm glad you agree, Who 399. Who agrees with us that we were factual in our comments? Awesome. Sometimes we do win them over.
Something like that. Oh goodness. All right, so there's a lot. When it comes to like Zoran hinted at, know your local laws. In some states you have stand your ground laws, castle doctrine. Make sure you know what that is locally. In New York State, you have a duty to retreat, but that's only to your home. When you're in your home, now you're fully authorized to defend yourself against illegal entry by unknown assailants. And if they don't identify themselves, they are unknown assailants. Remember, there are people running around claiming to be ICE and abducting people.
Yes.
So they have to identify themselves.
It's literally happened here. It's happened 5 minutes from me that people were claiming to be ICE. Yeah.
Well, I've heard multiple news reports. Well, actually, independent news reports, not hearing so much about it in the larger news media. But yeah, I don't know what is more frightening, knowing that people are pretending to be ICE and just kidnapping people, or being kidnapped by the government. I am maybe at least there's some kind of process with the government, but then you might be sent to a gulag.
Don't take chances. Just don't open the door. Like, even before you get to the identify yourself and warrant thing, don't open the door. Make them slide the warrant underneath or something.
I don't even say hello. I don't even let them know I'm home. I don't even care if they see my curtains move. I'm still not home. Okay? If you come to my home unannounced, you're not welcome. That's just end of. Unless you're my kids, unless you're my BFF, you're not welcome. I just don't answer the door. I have PTSD from the J-dubs. I'm not even going to lie to you. Ever since I deconstructed, because they will just consistently and incessantly come to your home and try to have conversations with you. And I couldn't take it anymore. So I just don't answer the phone.
You know what's fun? If you get the witnesses and the Mormons and you schedule them both to come at the same time and make them talk to each other.
Let them do their own little debate. And well, I don't know. That does sound really good, JW. What do you have to say about that, Mormon? Convince me. I'm thinking of converting.
I think the ones here are a little scared, but I literally told them my name, and after about 3 times, they don't show up anymore. They don't even bother.
Where? Who?
They just,
Who are you talking about?
The Mormons and the JWs. They don't even, they will I'll watch them walk past my house. They won't even come here anymore.
It's so silly, isn't it?
Because of my name. And I'm like, it's my name, guys.
They're afraid of demons.
With you. That's my name.
They're terrified because they believe that evil spirits are real, or that they possessed people. Yeah. I don't know what they use as evidence. I have no idea what their evidence is. Other than
it's that self-affirming circle thing. A friend of the community, Arch Radish, Chad Harris, posed recently that he was in a conversation with a Christian, and he was talking about how when he was a believer, he was obsessed with demons. Everything was infested with demons, and you had to get the demons out, and you had to block the demons away. But once he stopped believing, suddenly demons stopped being a problem, weirdly enough. And the Christians said, well, yes, of course, because the demons want to lead you away from Jesus. And if they can just leave you alone and have you not believing in Jesus, they will happily do that. And Chad said, that's a good reason to not be a believer in and of itself. And the Christian goes, wait, what? No, that's not what I meant.
If you don't believe, they don't bother you. So stop believing. It's like Tinkerbell.
Yeah, we need to clap and we'll summon that's how we summon demons. We've been doing it wrong this whole time. All right, shall we take a quick break? We have more commercials.
We got more commercials.
Yeah.
I was about to say, all you have to do is contact me on Discord and bam, I shall appear.
Just like that.
Yeah, I can be summoned with treats, with cookies, with all kinds of things. I'm very bribable. All right, since we're talking protests and shit, let's do fascism from our good friends at the Daily Atheist Morning Show. And when we come back, human rights campaigns tips for protesting safely.
Today's world is confusing, and there's too much information for one person to make sense of it all. Which credit card should I pay off first? Is non-fat milk good for me? Who should I vote for? Let's face it, if you can't figure out high-interest milk, then how can you be expected to make political decisions that influence a country of over 325 million people? Well, that's why there's fascism. Fascism is the political, social, and economic system for today's world. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines fascism as a political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts a nation, and often race, above the individual, and that stands for a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of the opposition. Choose this ideology and life will be easy. Did you ever look at someone who uses really big words and think, I wish those libs would just disappear? Well, under fascism, your dreams can come true. Under fascism, you won't have to worry about the pesky little things like brown people or atheists, or who in your country is entitled to basic human rights and who is not. Hint, hint, the answer is nobody. Yes, friends, this truly is the final solution you've been looking for. And if you're concerned if this form of authoritarianism will be up to your high standards, don't worry. American fascism will be the best fascism in the world because it's been endorsed by Jesus. So go out and destroy freedom and democracy by getting fascism today. Paid for by the Fascio Conservative Party, formerly known as the GOP.
Jesus-sponsored fascism is my favorite kind.
It is the most
Mhm.
family friendly.
Well, it's family oriented. It's not family friendly, but it is family oriented. We can say that for certain.
Oh, I'm enjoying this one troll more than some of the others we've been getting. What a perfect description of the Democratic Party. Yes, a
Well,
thing
thank
that
you.
literally says we are the GOP is a perfect description of the Democratic Party. Like, my goodness.
Oh, yes. Because the Democratic Party wants to give me less rights than a corpse in my state.
Listen, dude, the problem is that y'all continue to normalize radical behavior. Like, you continue to accept it. And like 10 years ago, you would have been dead set against this. If it was a Democratic president who was doing what's happening today, you'd be flipping a bitch. But for some reason, I guess it's okay because you think you're on the side of power. So you're okay with normalizing it? I don't know.
It's just team bullshit. But in this person's case, it's just rage bait. It's just trolling because he's saying the literal opposite of what's true, or at least to the limited extent he understands it.
We've never said that. We've never said that. We've never asked to do that. You like to make stuff up. You're
Been
really
the thing
emotional.
for like 25 years. They're coming for your guns, and every time they had power, they didn't. So we know you're full of shit. You know you're full of shit. You know that we know you're full of shit. So what are you doing? You're just looking silly. You're just looking silly.
What are they so afraid? They're so afraid. Like, it's their entire personality. So, I feel sad for you. But anyway, what were we going to talk about?
A human rights campaign, tips for preparedness, peaceful protesting, and safety. I have a list of my own, but there's a lot of crossover with this one. And since human rights campaign is very accessible for people, this is linked on the website for your convenience. That's my website, betterthanember.com, in the resources section. But here's a link if you want to follow along yourself. You don't have to save it. I mean, you should, but if you don't, it's on the website. You can find it later. Okay, so this is tips for preparedness, peaceful protesting, and safety. Safety, of course, being the top priority. Live to fight another day. So safety and preparedness are essential in uncertain times. This is true for broadly everything. Like, given the fact we're in outright totalitarianism at this point, you should have a go bag. You should have your passport, some money, some credit cards, preferably prepaid ones that aren't attached to your own identity, traveler's checks, meal rations, like whatever you can have prepared in a bag so you can grab it and fucking go would be ideal. That's for general purposes. We're talking protest today. So whether you're preparing for an emergency or participating in a peaceful protest, these guidelines will help ensure your safety. Not fully comprehensive. These are helpful tips, but not a complete strategy guide. Please don't think that you know everything. There is other shit to talk about besides these. These are just starter tips. So first and foremost, know your rights. Understand local laws about protesting. For example, in many cities, you need to have a permit. They can't lawfully keep you from protesting, but they can make you do it in an orderly fashion and require you to have a permit. Beware of curfews. Beware of police interaction, especially beware of police interaction. The ACLU offers a guide for U.S. protesters on their rights. There's a link to the thing. And I mean, rights are great. The ACLU, we have mixed feelings about them around here. They broadly speaking do good work, but it's very limited. It's very selective, shall we say. But never mind. When protesting, preparation. Prepare before you go. You have to prepare. So first of all, stay hydrated. That's a good rule for anybody. And in fact, we have a whole commercial for that, but we're not doing that right now. Stay hydrated. Dress for the expected weather. However, I will add a caveat. Layers in case of weather changes, and the more layers you have, the less effective tasers will be. So there's that to consider. Bring any needed supplies, including water, medicine, and bring some cash. Not a lot of cash. Don't make yourself a target for pickpockets and whatnot, but like have enough cash so you can secure emergency transport. So you can hire a taxi or get on a bus or something so you can go somewhere if you need to. This says fully charge your cell phone battery. If you must bring your phone, make sure it's charged, but just don't bring your phone. Just don't do it.
Probably best.
So risky. Like, best case scenario, you lose your phone. You don't want that. And that's the best case. Like, don't bring it. Protective goggles or shatter resistant glasses for tear gas, other irritants, and so forth. Related, if you wear contacts, don't wear your regular glasses, because contacts can trap tear gas against your eyes.
Good call.
Yeah, wear something you can take off if you have to. Take supplies to protect from and safely remove chemical irritants, such as face covering. They say milk of magnesia. I'm not sure how effective that is. Towelettes. Water. You already have to bring water for drinking, for hydration, for wound cleaning. If you get the kind with the squirt top, it's great for squirting in eyes, but make sure it's clean water, like as in unopened bottles kind of thing. Tap water can have all sorts of things, and I don't just mean impurities, I mean shards of metal, and you don't want to be squirting shards of metal into your eyeballs. That's not healthy.
Are you sure?
I mean, it's not recommended. Know your emergency contact numbers. Again, you should not have your phone. If you do have your phone, expect it to be taken away from you. If you don't have emergency contacts memorized, write them on your body. Use permanent marker and physically write the phone numbers you need, at least 2 in case you can't reach the first person, so that you have the phone numbers available. Let at least one emergency contact know your plan, not just what you're doing, but what your plan is. For instance, and this is what we mean about planning, and it's weird that nobody ever talks about this part of it. Know where you're going, know where the protest is, plan your route in, plan safe locations around it, note the exits. Remember, in any kind of protest situation, police like to use a tactic called kettling, where they block off the exits and trap you inside. Make sure you know where all the exits are, and as soon as you see them starting to form a kettle, get the fuck out. But let people know your plan. Communicate with your emergency contact. Say, I'm going to the protest at 10 a.m. at the Columbus Plaza. I'm going in on Clinton Street and, whatever. Make sure you have a buddy. I'm going with Steve or whatever. Like, make sure it's clear what you're doing so people know how they can find you if they need to, and when to expect to hear back from you to know you're safe. So they know to look for you if you're not.
Yes.
My goodness. So yeah, where will you be? How will you get there? Like, I'm taking a car, I'm taking a bus, I'm taking an Uber, I'm walking, whatever. Where do you intend to go in an emergency? This is a good thing to plan with your group. Have rally points selected ahead of time. If you do have to run, if you do have to split, make sure you can get back together to make sure everybody's okay. So have at least a couple of points picked out, even if it's something like the McDonald's across town. Have places pre-planned to regroup at. What time do you intend to get back? This can vary a bit. Protests are often a little bit chaotic, a little bit flexible, but tell people, like, I expect to be back around 2. I should definitely be back by 4. Or whatever it is, tell your people that, so people know when to expect you. Know the environment, like we were talking about. Have an offline map. Print out a map, especially if you're not familiar with the area, so you have a physical copy with you, because you cannot depend on your phone. Remember, even if they don't take, like, during the protest itself, there are electronic blockers. There are signal blockers. They can turn off your internet by remote. You can't rely on your phone. Just don't bring it. And I mean, hell, we learned this past year that they can detonate your phones. They can turn them into bombs in your pockets.
Yes.
Don't bring it. My goodness. So yeah, have a physical map. Know the area. If you get a chance, scout the area so you have a general understanding of the lay of the land. And this says, know about available cell service. It may be limited in some cases. Don't trust that. Even if there's good coverage there when you check it out, it may not be that way. When thousands of people show up to the same place, you're going to have a limited signal anyway.
It's
you know?
overloaded. Especially in cities with tall buildings, like you're already up against bad cell service.
Yep. And this also suggests playing multiple routes, have rally points. So yeah, that's all in the suggested
Have a buddy
information.
if
Stay
you
away.
can.
Yeah. Maintain 360 situational awareness. Now they put that in quotes, but they don't explain what it means. It means like be aware around you. Don't just get focused on ahead. Don't just get focused on the speaker.
Mhm.
Keep checking the sides. Keep checking your six. Keep looking around because a lot of people won't. Keep checking rooftops.
Ooh.
That's a thing that happens too. And big crowds, especially in this age where not just ICE is completely off the fucking leash, but the MAGA are completely unhinged. They think it's open season on protesters. We've seen people drive into crowds, not just recently either, but it's been getting worse. So keep an eye out for that. Be ready to get the fuck out of the way. And if you can carry extra supplies, I'll get to this a little bit more later, but you can prepare for some of the weapons and tactics that are likely to be used against you. For example, if you can carry a big bucket that you can fill with water, that can be useful for dealing with tear gas. Be careful picking up a tear gas canister, though. Expanding gas gets cold really fast. So, like, grab a mitten or something to protect your hand from frostbite. But if you can get that canister into a big enough bucket of water, it neutralizes it completely.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Vehicles, same thing, big bucket, but this time fast set concrete. But if you can, take 3 pieces of rebar and put them in a grid pattern, X, Y, Z, exactly 90 degrees from each other, make it into a jack. In minutes, that concrete will set, and you have a concrete and rebar barrier, a caltrop for cars that you can set in the road. It's relatively lightweight. A couple of people can usually move them, but it will stop a car because if a car hits one, the other end of the rebar, whichever direction they hit from, the rebar will dig into the roadbed and stop the car.
Ooh. Damn.
Yeah. It's quick. It's handy. You can set them up in minutes. You just have to carry in the parts.
I mean, the thing is we have to find peaceful tactics to stop them.
Mhm.
They want us to be violent because that's exactly what they want to do. They're chomping at the bit. So these are excellent tips for just other ways to annoy and deter.
Yeah, it's mainly about keeping people safe from the murderous people who don't value human life, which is why we have a problem in the first place. Oh my goodness.
But because we're protesters, we're the ones who are seen as not valuing life. Isn't that funny? It's like a mind fuck.
Well, I mean, that's Darvo on a large scale. Deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender, saying we're not doing anything wrong. Actually, you're doing the things wrong. You're provoking this by, I guess, not bending over and presenting your asshole to be fucked without lube, but just reverse the victim and offender. This is happening because of you, not because of us,
Right.
Did you see what Tom Homan said yesterday on one of the Sunday shows? He said that protests are terrorists.
Yes. And was it Teal or one of those tech guys was saying that we should be, murdered? That we deserve to be?
Yeah, Palantir, yeah.
It's like, damn. Oh, Palantir? Oh, we'll see.
Yeah,
there you go.
It was one of the guys from Palantir.
There's that Palantir again. The technarchs.
I know it's almost like a conspiracy theory, except they're open about the conspiracy. Like, is it a conspiracy if they're open about it? They're like, yes, us 8 tech oligarchs own everything and we're taking over the rest, and we'll kill you if you don't like it. They're just open about it. So is that really a conspiiracy?
It is when you talk about it, Ember. When you bring it up.
Oh my goodness. It's unfucking real to me. Continuing on, be alert to people who seem suspicious. Their behavior, leaving unclaimed packages. Those could and often are IEDs. We learned a lot from Iraq, including how to blow people up. Holy shit. Unusual activity, vehicles. Again, we don't always have the ability to set up those hedgehogs that I just described. It's great if we can, but we don't always have that ability. So watch out for vehicles around the periphery. But people's behavior, like Ryan was talking about earlier, they've been, since 2020, they've been inserting agent provocateurs into crowds to force an escalation and justify police action. Watch out for them.
COINTELPRO.
Someone just did that. It was a couple of days ago. Somebody set an American flag on fire and then walked off, and it was obvious that they were basically a provocateur from the other side. Like, it was obvious. Everybody called them out on it too.
It's just another attempt to undermine peaceful protest, turn us into the bad guy, the Darvo, like you said.
Yeah, if you just stop protesting, everything would be fine.
Watch
Just
me.
shut up
It
and
ain't
take
gonna
it.
happen.
Yeah, real. It's my fucking God. It's like, how many times have we heard rape trials where the case was being made by the public media, by the right-wing media, that if she just hadn't fought back, she would have still been raped, but she'd still be alive today. You know? It's her fault for fighting back while she was being raped. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, stop breaking the law, asshole. Holy crap. So the next thing they recommend is what they call the OODA loop. Now, this is a little... It's a cool memory device because it sounds weird and so people remember it, but it's also a little bit of that chronically online professional protester vibe because, I don't know, it just strikes me as a little bit cringe, but it is useful tips. Observe things. Identify the source of danger in your surroundings. Don't get overly preoccupied with the big hairy biker dude who might be violent. He could be your best ally. Don't hyper-focus on him. Look for the sus people who are, you know, setting flags on fire for no reason and running away. You know, that sort of thing. Orient yourself. Keep aware of where you are relative to the exits at all times.
I
Don't
always am
lose
doing
track
that.
of where you... Because when a crowd panics, breaks, and runs, if you don't know exactly where you are before you start moving, you are fucked. Make sure you're aware of where you are at all times.
Amen.
Choose a course of action that minimizes risk. More importantly, choose. So often people get, when things go bad suddenly, people get that deer in the headlights effect. They freeze. They don't know what to do. If everything else goes bad, they have an acronym and a whole bunch of support groups that definitely applies here. It's called FEAR. If you're afraid, use FEAR. Fuck everything and run. Pick a direction and go. Don't stand there and get trampled. And act. Implement your decision and stay aware of changes in the environment. So yeah, OODA, I guess. Hooray. In a protest setting, observe people, monitor the crowd for movements, watch for police presence, watch for signs of escalation, orient, compare your prior protest experience, analyze the likeliness. Okay, that's a little bit after the fact. That's like meet up afterwards and discuss about what went down, what could have been done better. But also, if you have a chance to meet with organizers beforehand, you can bring prior protest experience to bear. For example, the hedgehogs, right? Not a lot of people know about those. If you can bring knowledge of those to a meeting in advance, then people can coordinate. One person can bring the rebar, one person can bring the buckets, one person can bring the quickset concrete, one person can bring the water. Now you can build the damn things, and they're useful. But if you're the only one who knows, it's hard for you to bring all the parts yourself, you know, because all of it together is heavy.
And expensive.
Can be, yes.
Over time, you know what I mean?
Decide. So choose whether to stay, reposition, or leave, and act, move quickly, and reassess immediately. So yeah, that's when you have a chance to stop and reflect and observe the situation. This is actually almost battlefield tactics, right? Like when you have to perform operations without orders from a commanding officer, like in a chaotic battle situation. Your first rule is to get to a safe location so that you can reassess and make a smarter decision. you know?
Mm-hmm.
Prepare to de-escalate. So if you are confronted, especially by police,
Yes.
stay calm, keep
please.
your voice steady. But this applies to anybody, people who are counter protesters, people who are agents provocateur in the crowd, whatever the case may be. Stay calm, keep your voice steady. Avoid provocative behavior, because remember, these people will shoot you if you're unarmed and being polite. If you do anything that gives them remotely close to an excuse, holy shit, don't do that. And if necessary, walk away and remove yourself from the situation. This is where it goes back to the earlier tip. Ask them point blank, am I being detained? If they say no, walk away. Don't continue to engage. Don't continue to talk. Don't try to argue with, just walk the fuck away. Don't run though. They'll also shoot you.
Yeah. And if they do say that you're being detained, then you need to find out, they need to identify themselves. I mean, they probably won't, but again, if you know your rights, they might back down from you. So make them identify themselves and what agency they're working for, ask them to show their ID, etc.
Yeah, because again, there are a lot of fakers, a lot of imposters. But even the real ones try to get away with that whole imposter thing. So, that's a key thing to keep in mind too.
Because they're being harassed.
Right? So I
They
know
have
we're harassing
really
them by
hard.
being present in the space they chose to invade. Yes. In the same way, the Palestinians are harassing the Israelis by existing on their land before they got there.
Exactly. It's the same energy. It is the exact same energy.
Holy crap. All right. So during the protest, mindset and behavior, stay calm, focused, and peaceful. Your goal is to make a point, not to provoke. And that's super, super important, because we want you to live. Like,
Me too.
saying what you got to say is important. Your voice should be heard and respected, but we want you to live. You don't have to be Martin Luther King. You don't have to go out there and make a speech and become a martyr. We'd rather see you run away and give that speech on YouTube. Fucking live. Damn it. All these people are so over dramatic. They're like, if I die for the cause, don't fucking die for the cause. We need live warriors, not dead martyrs. That doesn't help anyone, least of all you. Don't engage with agitators. Step away, de-escalate where possible. And by de-escalate, now this is a whole sub-subject in and of itself. We could do a whole training just about that. Say whatever you have to. Get on their side if you have to. Agree with them if you have to. De-escalate. Make the violence go away. If they start ranting about, oh, you damn protesters, if you frickin' liberals weren't here making it, be like, yes, I know, us damn liberals. Say whatever you have to calm them the fuck down. Even if it galls you, safety is more important.
Agreed.
Respect the other protesters' space and safety. Don't trample other people. Holy shit.
Trampling is bad.
What's that?
I said that's always good advice.
Yeah, trampling is bad. Don't do that.
In general, I try not to. I make it a habit.
I mean, unless somebody's into that kind of thing.
I'm not going to yuck your yum.
Obey lawful orders, because we don't want you to get shot, but also remember you have the right to remain silent. Like, somebody ordering you to speak is not a lawful order, because you have a right to remain silent.
Yes. Please take advantage of it, because again, anything that you say, they will use against you, or they will twist it. They will lie.
Absolutely.
They will tell you things that are untrue to make you talk to them. So
they can outright lie to your face.
Yep. Don't care.
So don't believe shit they say.
Don't believe the hype.
Yeah, never take it for granted anything they say. I mean, obey the lawful orders, but don't just accept at face value. always double check. Contact a friend, a lawyer, a whatever, a legal services outreach division, whatever the case may be. Don't ever take them at their word that what they're saying is true. And that's not just ICE. Oh, there you go. Resist Depression says, I lie back. There you go. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. So what not to bring? Shoot, it closed it. So anything illegal or that can be construed as a weapon. Anything that could be construed as a weapon. That's pretty broad, but
oh my
that's
gosh,
important.
your phone could be a weapon.
It could be. We've seen people get shot for reaching for their phone, for holding a phone.
We have.
Don't bring your phone. But yeah, anything that
Don't
can
do
be
it.
construed as a weapon, that will be justification to just shoot you. They will just shoot you. Don't. And yes, United States in present day, as Finest Plugin says, normally you'd only have to go to these lengths protesting in more totalitarian nations like China, Iran, and Russia. Weirdly, in some ways, this is worse than Russia. They allow controlled protests in Russia. Here, they will shoot you. This is like fucking Israel right before the October attacks. Like, holy shit.
Yep. It really is.
So yeah, nothing illegal. That'll be a pretext to arrest you. And nothing that can be construed as a weapon, because that'll be a pretext to shoot you. And not just things that are weapons, things that could be construed as a weapon. Like we said earlier, contact lenses, because those can trap tear gas. Any valuable items, including your phone, do not bring your phone. But any valuables, don't wear jewelry, anything that can get snagged, anything that can get stolen, anything that can mark you as a target for robbery or assault.
Put your hair up. Or put your hair up so people can't like make it uneasy to grab somehow.
Yeah,
because they like to yank you up by your hair. I've watched several of them ICE Gestapos grab, and not just women, men have hair too, long hair. They just really grip it up. Anyway.
Yeah. So any valuables that could get stolen or could be used to identify you, like a wedding ring, for example, don't bring it. If confronted, stay calm and put on a facade of being respectful. Do not resist arrest. They will fuck you up. Do not escalate the situation. They will fuck you up. Clearly state you wish to remain silent and want a lawyer. Just invoke your rights and say nothing else. They may give you some static about you need to identify yourself. We need to know who we're dealing with. Yada. Don't. Stay silent. I want a lawyer. That's the only thing you should say.
Amen.
Clearly, don't explain, don't negotiate. All too often people try to be like, well, what if this, what? No, don't. Just don't. Anything you say, they will use against you. Not necessarily in a court of law, but they will use it against you. Document what you can. If you can bring a burner phone, record as much as you can. If it's safe for court events, but be aware that some areas may restrict this. Now, that's a little bit ishy. Like Ryan was saying earlier, you have every right to record ICE, but if it can be construed as you're interfering in some way, they can shoot you. Not legally, but they'll do it.
They don't care.
They don't care what's legal. Holy shit.
JD Vance
share
gave them
footage
a
with
pass.
trusted legal or advocacy organizations, not social media. Now, this is important. A lot of people like to live stream protests so that people can see live what's going on. I understand the value in that, but as a matter of best practices, don't. Because social media gets people identified, gets people harassed, tracked down by law enforcement after the fact. They lose their jobs, all sorts of badness. Don't share footage from ground level, at least publicly on social media. Send it to advocacy groups and organizations for safekeeping. Do a private live stream if you insist on doing it live. But have a respect for other people's identity, privacy, and security as well. Don't get other people in trouble by your own enthusiasm to virtue signal, look at me, I'm at the protest. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's not about that.
And legal support.
Quickly,
like you shouldn't even be identifying yourself as at the protest. That is unsafe. That is not best practice.
Real quick, the whole legal support thing. if you feel like, you're going to possibly need legal support, if you're writing down numbers on your body, it might be best to write down some kind of law firm who is, so you can call, so you have a lawyer's number on your body, just saying. That will help.
If you can read this, call 911.
In case of emergency, call 911.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Okay. After the protest, check in. Remember to call the people back that you told where you were going, what you were doing. Tell them you're back. Tell them you're safe. Tell other people that knew you were going that you're safe, because people will worry. And if they don't hear from you, they're probably going to start looking for you, and that could get complicated really, really quickly. Meet with your group, whether you went with a single buddy or you organized with a group, whatever. Meet with them after, discuss notes, report anything that happened. And this is a cool thing to plan beforehand if you can, but definitely discuss afterwards. If any of your group are taken into custody, what you're going to do about it. Do you have a bail fund? Do you have a legal aid group available on hand or that you can contact, whatever the case may be? Figure out what you're going to do and help the people in your group that got snagged. And of course, take care of yourself. Hydrate, rest, get emotional support if needed. Even the best protests, the ones that go completely clockwork, can be physically exhausting and emotionally draining.
It is.
And we expect that few of them are going to go that way. Expect there to be violence. If it doesn't happen, hooray, lucky you, but expect it.
My goodness gracious. These people are so easily wooed.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, that's the whole thing with MAGA. It's just trolls. It's just owning the libs. So here's another copy of the link in case you want to go through it yourself. But again, it is on the website, betterthenumber.com, in the resources section, in case you need it later and you don't have it saved. So yeah, that's the hedgehogs I mentioned. I do want to show you. This is a interesting physics experiment that a person set up, demonstrating
this is
how
an
the
experiment that I'm running in Tinkercad. Right here, we have a vehicle that is about 5.5 tons with 430 Newton meters of torque. And then we have...
This is very nerdy, so I'll quiet him down and speed this up. Because I mean, I appreciate the torque nerdiness, but like, holy shit, y'all. So the situation we've got here is the hedgehogs, like I described. Gravity hasn't been turned on yet. And then these are 55-gallon drums filled with water that will help provide additional stopping power. Because interestingly enough, about the hedgehogs, if a vehicle is moving at low enough speed, the rebar won't dig into the roadbed. So if they go slowly, they can just push it forward. The barrels help stop that. So he probably talks for a minute. I'll speed him up more. I'll speed him up a lot. It's a relatively short video. I found it floating around. It was in a description of how to make the hedgehogs quickly, because like we've seen them around, we've seen them at some protests, but like a lot of people don't realize there is a cement mix that can set in minutes.
I honestly was wondering why people haven't employed it more, like around their cars. Maybe because there's too many. I don't know, but I'd be setting ones in the front and back, make it difficult for them to get out.
Yeah, I mean, you can get in trouble if you construct permanent road barricades, like make a Jersey barrier on site. But since these are movable obstructions, then you might get yelled at, but you won't get in lasting trouble over it. Of course, keeping people safe takes priority over getting in trouble anyway. But yeah, So now that he started to fill the barrels with water, it starts to be more effective, the two working together to stop the vehicle. But yeah, that's the hedgehogs in a physics experiment.
It's like bowling.
Kind of, sort of. All right, I've been ranting for a minute. Let's lighten the mood a little bit, shall we? Do some puppy time?
Yes.
Yes.
I need agua.
Okay. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Sometimes I chill or hang out at the bar, but I never stay long or go very far. You could say I am lame or that I am fickle, but I'd rather be at home playing with my pickle. That's my dog, she's a big deal. That's my dog, let's keep it real. Don't take offense if I don't answer the phone. Instead I'm loving on my girl and giving her a bone. People call me a dud, like a busted missile, but I'd rather be in my bed, petting my pickle. That's my doggy, she's a big deal. That's my dog, let's keep it real. That's my dog, she's a big deal. That's my dog, let's keep it real. It's not that I don't like you or wanna hang out, but if I had to choose, never was there a doubt. If you need to feel good, in fact it might tickle, you should come to my house and wrestle with my pickle. That's my big deal. That's my dog, let's keep it real.
Yay, puppy.
Hooray. Puppy doos and things.
You know what? I think I
right.
need to make that like just a little bit longer. I'm like Rush. I really, like maybe one more verse. One more verse would I think would make that perfect.
I find 3 minutes is good for most breaks, depending on how big your house is. But
Yeah.
it gives you time to do a very quick bathroom and still be able to wash your hands. It gives you time to go refill something that like you can just fill, that you don't have to like mix or whatever. But yeah. If you're gonna do long shows, make sure you have break material prepared.
Exactly. I should have been better prepared, but
It's all good. I mean, hell, I just outright cheat. I keep my my jug with additional water, right? I need to refill this, but there's some still in there. But I keep it right next to me.
epic water filters.
Yeah. So if I happen to run out of beverage, I have more beverage. It's
Yeah,
pretty handy.
I was kind of air drying, not even gonna lie, Brent. I popped my pill, I filled my water because you know it takes time to fill this up because I have, you know, it's just a little fridge filter. Hey, Bree, it's just a fridge filter, fridge filler. So it takes like a damn minute. Half the time is this thing filling up. Anyway, Bree, welcome. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I kind of have like a head cold thing going on, so
Ew, everybody's sick.
yeah,
It's a new.
I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm looking a little rough this morning.
Oh, I do not believe it. I don't believe it. It's not possible. It's impossible for Bree to look rough.
Well, I feel rough. Feel rough.
and feeling like you look rough.
I'll be the judge of that.
Feel me. Yeah, lower.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry. I forgot we were live. Hi, everybody.
Hello, audience. Yeah, if you want to extend that, though, there's the pictures of or the videos that Henry played in the pool that are so cute of him chasing the hose in the pool.
Yes, I want that.
Yeah, he's
That would be great. Yeah, and Lil gave me something extra too. So I have enough, I think, now that I could add another verse. I just need to write it and then I'd have to, I don't know how the song would turn out.
Re-render the damn thing. Yeah.
Who knows? But give it a shot just to
You
make it
gotta
long.
play
Or
with
make
that
one other
pickle.
video.
Yeah. Make a part 2. Playing with my
Yeah.
pickle part 2.
Play with my pickle part 2. And I also promised a pussy petting video
Mm-hmm.
and song.
You have like work orders, and then Ryan, got your work orders in for the week.
Exactly. And I need help. So again, if you all in the audience, if you have doggo videos or kitty videos, you can find me on Discord in the damn show Discord and DM me and probably send it there or give me a link so I can download it or something like that. And I'll add you to the video.
Or
Okay.
if you have one of those little pigs, oh my gosh, if you have one of those little pigs, send us videos. We want to see your little pig.
Yeah, if you or even like any kind of little animal. I could just make a little
Mhm.
animal video, whatever.
Mhm.
You know? Some
Do
people
you
got
all
snakes.
watch League of Pigs?
I
No.
was just talking about that the other day. I'm like, I wonder
You
if there's
will-
a new season yet.
You will love League of Pigs, Ryan. I promise. Yeah,
I'll write it down.
I'm Team Pepper Sanchez. She's my girl. They're on season like 9 now, or season 9 or 10. But the pigs are like twice as big as they were when the show started.
League of
They're
Pigs.
so
Okay.
cute. Yeah.
Oh, it's one of the best
out.
things ever. I'm dropping a link to the damn Discord for anybody watching on another channel who doesn't have it. One of the channels we primarily broadcast on is the Daily Atheist Morning Show, or the Damn Network, if you will. And they have a rather active Discord server, which you can find Ryan on, among other things. So it didn't go out to all the channels we're broadcasting on, but I mean, I can only do so much from here.
You can only do what
Some
you
of
can
you
do.
may have to do a little searching around the YouTubes and find the damn channel to get to the Discord the long way.
Yes. And this is the at the damn show. That's how you can, if you're not watching from the Daily Atheist and you're watching from another channel, that's where you can find it. And make sure you're subscribed to the Daily Atheist because we do a morning show Monday through Friday. Chris also puts out long format video and shorts and things of that nature too. So all kinds of good stuff here on all of
And
ours.
we also all have
There's
our
no
own
pig
channel.
racing on any of it, though. If you want to see pig racing, you got to go to League of Pigs.
I admit there's no pigs. I'm sorry. Quiet, piggy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Would you guys be mad at me if I put that
have
sound
our
bite on
channels as
here?
well? If you want to find any of us, head to betterthanember.com. I know all these resources on that website, but here on the creators list, you'll find the Java and Jugs cast members, and all of us, our own channels, are right there on that list. Even the people who aren't here today, because our cast changes from time to time depending on who can show up. So yeah, all kinds of goodies.
No. Kelly, I think we're gonna have to tell you you have to just stay seated for the next month because Kelly, you keep hurting yourself.
For real. Like
Kelly?
we need like a kitty or maybe a puppy, but some fuzzy animal to just sit on Kelly's lap and keep him from fucking moving.
Mm-hmm. I hope you feel better, Kels. Ouchies. Does not sound fun. Poor guy.
It's an oof.
It is an
All right,
oof.
so I had a couple more notes. Like I said, the HRC has most of the things that I'd recommend, but I do have a couple other bits that might be useful.
And also too, none of this is legal advice. So don't say Ember said or Ryan said or Lilith said or Bree said or J&J said. Okay? We're just giving you information and you do with it what you will. Okay? Please don't sue me. Thank you. Go ahead.
These
Ember.
are what our resources are telling us. We're just relaying the information to you.
Right. Yes. I pulled the information that like the graphics I made. If y'all want them, if you're into it, I pulled it from like ACLU, other like legal websites and kind of just surmised it and then did that. So your state could be different.
Our legal advice is call a lawyer. Our medical advice is call a doctor. Like that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah. Don't eat that. That's my advice.
Absolutely.
Don't put that in your mouth.
Just blame Ryan for everything.
These are steps that might help you avoid needing legal or medical advice. Is what we're trying to they might help you avoid that. Might.
Yeah, remember there's never no risk.
Well
with
said.
protests, with any encounter with law enforcement. Like, we've seen the most peaceful encounters turn fatal. There is never no risk. The point here is to mitigate risks to the greatest degree possible, so that, this is important, the largest number possible comes back alive. That's another thing you have to bear in mind. There isn't, nothing you do will keep you 100% safe. There is a risk. And there will be. If you go in a group of 100 and the protest ends up having a 1% mortality rate, one of your group isn't coming back. You need to be aware of that before going in. This shit is really serious.
Yeah.
So on that happy note,
On that
a
serious
couple
note,
additional points. Plan signals ahead of time with the people you come with, whether it's one buddy or 100. Plan hand signals, because you won't be able to hear each other over a screaming crowd. Like, make a gesture for when you have to run, so that people know, so you can stay coordinated. That's a handy thing that I learned from deaf people. It doesn't matter how loud the crowd is, they can still talk to each other.
yeah. Heck yeah.
It's pretty handy. Another one is cover up, like, not just dress in layers to protect yourself from the weather and tasers, but also hide identifiable tattoos, remove your jewelry, which is a good idea for safety reason, wear a mask or a gaiter, not just for virus protection, although that's worth doing for that reason too, but for the same reason ICE does, to keep from being identified. Wear nondescript clothing, not your normal style. Go with all black. It doesn't matter if it makes you look like a bank robber. It's for your safety. Or all gray or whatever, just nondescript, very blah stuff. And clothing that you don't mind if it gets damaged, because it might get damaged. Expect there to be cameras, so make sure you can't be ID'd, because there can be repercussions after the fact. It's an important thing to plan for ahead of time, because you can't change it anyway. Again, don't bring your phone. Do not bring your phone. But if you bring it anyway, make sure your battery's charged, make sure it's locked, disable your biometrics, turn off the Face ID and the fingerprint lock, use a strong 6-digit passcode. In many jurisdictions, police can legally force you to use your face or finger to unlock a phone, but they cannot compel you to provide your passcode. Use encrypted messaging, apps like Signal, to make sure that your communications are safe and, you know, can't be searched later. Even if you do use a burner phone for communication, make sure you're being safe about your communication. Avoid posting photos and videos, like we talked about earlier. Other people's faces, tattoos, unique clothing, all kinds of stuff can be visible. Make sure you use an app to remove the EXIF metadata from the photo before you post it. All these various things. Every step you take is additional security. Dress for mobility as well as protection. Wear comfortable clothing. Closed-toed shoes. It should be obvious, but it's not to some people. Closed-toed walking shoes. Layers for weather changes and protection from tasers, and additional covering for tattoos, birthmarks, etc. Eye protection from flashbang grenades, from rubber bullets, from other hazards. Like a gaiter and a mask won't cover your eyes. Protect your eyes. Earplugs are helpful for similar reasons. Flashbang grenades, protect your hearing. Loud screaming crowds, protect your hearing. Avoid contact if there's chemical irritants in the air. If they're used, don't touch them directly, because they are irritants. It's what they're for. You do not want a chemical burn. That's a bad time. For the same reason, don't wear contacts, like we said earlier. But some people probably have come in since then. Contact lenses can trap that gas against your eyeball. Wear regular glasses so you can take them off.
That sounds painful.
And wash your eyes out. Have your go bag
Or
ready.
goggles.
Right. Goggles are good too. Anything you can take off, but the better protection for your eyes, the better. Safety glasses are wonderful as well. Bring plenty of water for drinking and flushing eyes. Squirt tops are best for that. A gas mask if you can. You probably won't need it, but if you do need it, you're going to be awfully glad you have it. Snacks. High energy, high density, portable food like protein bars or nuts. Because you're going to need that energy if you got to run. And it could take all day and so on. Once again, carry an ID and a small amount of cash for emergency transport. Not a lot of cash. That makes you a target. First aid kit. If you've got space, bring bandages, bring wound cleaning supplies, things like that. Because people, if there's violence, people are going to need it. People are going to get hurt. And with big crowds, it can take a long time for medics to get to people. If you can render some basic aid,
tourniquets
in the interim, it can make a difference. Make sure you're up to date on your CPR certification if you can. Like, be the medic you want to see in the world. But again, medical advice is call a doctor. This is not medical advice. If you can carry a lot, those large buckets we mentioned, those are key for a whole bunch of things, like water to diffuse the tear gas grenades, like filling with that fast setting cement in order to build barricades, especially the hedgehogs if you can, because they are very effective. They dissuade a lot of pedestrians even. They see those weird, improvised looking barricades and people are like, I'm going to stay away from this area, which is probably for the best. Let's see. As far as situational awareness, stay on the periphery. It's easy to get lost in a crowd. It's easy to get crushed in a crowd. It's easy to get disoriented in a crowd. In the middle of a crowd, if someone decides to start shooting from a rooftop, they tend to aim for the middle, the same way people shooting at a target aim for the center of mass. If you're on the periphery, you're less likely to be targeted. You're more likely to be able to see a car that's getting ready to run down people and get people the fuck to safety. For a whole bunch of reasons. If you're nervous about crowds, stay towards the edges. Avoid being pinned against the walls. Avoid being pinned against fences. Be aware of the potential for kettling when the law enforcement try to surround you. By being on the edges, you can be more aware of that too. Watch for escalation. Pay attention to the shifts in the crowd's energy or the police movement. Police moving in can make people freak out and cause an incident. So be aware of everything going on around you. Watch out for that escalation. Pay attention to shifts in the crowd energy. If things start to feel tense or aggressive, get out. Just leave. Be safe. Even if nothing ends up happening, be safe first. That needs to be your top priority. Watch out for plants. Certain groups like to hide their agents in the crowds to fabricate an escalation. Like we were talking about earlier, agent provocateurs. Sometimes they're law enforcement dressed in protester clothes. Sometimes they're Proud Boys hoping to bring law enforcement involved. Whatever the case may be, there's a lot of fucking terrorists, and they're really good at blending in to an extent. Watch out for anomalous objects that could be IEDs. That's a repetition, but that's really important. We are at the point where they're dropping bombs on American citizens. Watch the fuck out. And if at all possible, de-escalate, stay calm, create physical distance, walk the fuck away if you can. If you have to interact with law enforcement, stay calm, keep your hands visible, don't run, don't make sudden movements. These are very, very terrified people, right? Like, okay, real talk. The people behind those badges are humans. They're afraid too. I'm not saying it needs to be your top priority to show them compassion, but understand they are humans. They will be afraid. They will make mistakes. They will feel threatened. They will do rash things. Do not provoke them. Not because they're bullies with badges, not because they're all pigs, not because all cops are bastards. Because they're humans, and humans fuck up. Don't provoke them.
Yeah. They're on edge, man. Be careful.
And if everything else fails, if you get apprehended, right to remain silent. Again, legal advice is contact a lawyer. So be silent. Say, I'm invoking my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer. That's how you call for a lawyer. It's just you ask directly for a lawyer. So yeah. And afterwards, of course, contact people to let them know that you're safe if you are. Because people worry. So yeah, that's my additional notes on that.
Great.
Anybody got any other tips and things?
If not everybody is able to be on the streets for whatever reason. So
Mhm.
if you're able to help in other ways, like sometimes your local group might have a way that you can support them monetarily, or maybe they have an Amazon wish list of sorts, where they're looking for items, like you said, like maybe medical or food or what have you. So there's other ways that you can support if you physically can't put your body on the line. Or even
Yeah.
just like behind the scene organization stuff,
You're muted, Lil.
You're muted, babe. I was wondering if you were. I wasn't sure though. Is it not showing you muted?
I know. I thought she'd been quiet for a long time.
I thought I'd seen her moving her lips one time, but I wasn't sure if she was talking to Kip, because she talks to Dr. Kip a lot.
I mean,
are those? What are you wearing, Lil? I like the glove that you got on. Is that like a sleeve that goes with something?
Oh, now we hear you.
Oh, you got
I hear you now.
Now we hear you.
Okay, well, it's not my usual mic. No, I got arm
Yeah,
armor.
you're on the wrong mic.
Those are so cute. I have some too. Mine are purple and black striped, but those are
Very
cute.
For some reason, my normal mic is not working, but okay. Just for anybody who is in there and saying, "Oh, blah blah blah, you shouldn't run over cops." Let's remember that after the George Floyd protests, that several states passed laws allowing people to run over protesters.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was just talking to someone a second ago, like while I was in this chat. Actually, they're like, "Oh, everybody wants to get mad about, or everybody wants to defend Charlie Kirk getting blown away, but they don't. But they think that this woman's some kind of hero." There's a key difference here. If you can't see the difference between someone who's leading a violent political movement that causes school shootings and leads to political violence, and a woman coming home from dropping her kids off at school and getting stopped by law enforcement or people posing as law enforcement and giving conflicting traffic instructions to which she tried to follow and got herself blown away. There's a bit of a difference between those two people. I just got to point that out, right?
And that's also important, Bree. I had mentioned this before with Chris, but ice pigs and the cops, they will intentionally, all of them at one time, yell at multiple different types of directions for the person to follow. So that way they're confused. They don't know what to do. They're trying to do this move. They're trying to get down. They're trying to put their hands up. They're trying to put their hands on the wheel. And that's all intentional, so they can say, "Oh, well, you weren't following orders." Well, orders.
It's impossible to comply when everybody's telling you to do the opposite thing. Somebody's telling you to go ahead and pull off. Another person's telling you to get out of your vehicle. Another person's telling you to keep your hands up so they can see them. Another person's telling you to get your ID.
Yes. All at one time.
All at the same time.
Can you imagine that? Someone pointing a gun at you while yelling at you in that manner. I mean, my heart would have been out of my chest. Like, how do you react? Your hands would be shaking. Yeah. So just try not to get into those situations. But when that happens, it's probably best just to fucking freeze and don't do shit.
Don't reach for anything.
Yeah. Just
Very
don't move.
slowly and do the least provocative thing possible. Like literally just freeze, keep your hands visible and say, "Officers, you're giving me conflicting orders. I'm just going to hold still. If you want my ID, you need to reach for it."
That's the one that they always get. Well, I hate to make this racial. That's when they always get the black young men on when they pull them over. Is they'll have one cop tell them to keep their hands where they can see them, and another cop tell them to give them their ID. And as soon as they reach for something, they dogpile them, drag them out, and beat the crap out of them. I've seen dozens of videos where that happens. We thought he was going for a gun. We thought he was going for a weapon. You told him to give you his ID. You told him to give you his registration out of the glove box, whatever. But
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So you just have to know that they're inciting violence. They want to confuse you. Mass confusion is the intention. So just be calm. Like, I know that's hard to like just try to woo-saw yourself and just
You know what,
remember,
though?
familiarize this with all of these, tips.
If you see this happen to somebody else, get your damn phone out or get something out to record, because you're going to want as many angles of how everything went down as possible. You see somebody getting harassed by ICE agents, record it.
Yes,
That's my advice.
I agree.
But that's conflicting too, because when you go to a protest, you almost don't want to bring your personal phone with you, because
You definitely don't want to. Yes.
right, like a burner phone or something maybe, but not your phone. But like if you have like a
Don't
digital
use your
camera,
phone,
Yeah,
right? Like
the
you
memory
have to
card
record, like a
style.
GoPro or something. GoPros are impact resistant, waterproof. They hold hours of recording at lower resolution and even a couple hours at high resolution. Like something like a GoPro or other action camera is ideal if you have to record. But again, don't make it public because other people can be ID'd and shit. But definitely, if you have to film, you don't have to use a phone. Remember.
yeah, I think that's a lot of people's instinct is like, oh, when something's going down, they reach for their phone. We live in a society and a time where people will pull out their phones to record violence rather than try to help the person being attacked at this point. But it's still better to document when the police are acting badly. They wear the body cams and stuff. The police do. They can't cover their faces. Why isn't that going on with ICE, I wonder? Where's the body cam footage of Renee Good's attack? Where's that body cam footage of either one of those officers that were involved with her?
I think they did release some. I thought, and it.
Did they have body cams? I didn't think they did.
I thought so.
I don't know if it's a body cam or a personal cell phone or what the deal is.
Maybe you're right.
The fact that ICE can cover their faces and all, there's a reason why cops can't cover their faces, and why when you ask them, they have to tell you their badge number and stuff. Those are our rights as citizens to have our law enforcement identified. It's crazy that we have a branch of federal law enforcement that can cover their face and not identify themselves and be mysterious.
Well, they're not law enforcement. They're Gestapo. They're pretend cops, but they're more like a private army. The secret police.
Untrained.
It's private citizens against citizens. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's so bothersome. It's like freaking citizens killing citizens just legally. Why? Why do you care more about the government than you do?
The fucking trolls were provoking. This is such a provocative thing, isn't it? It's so
so much interaction.
People telling on themselves, like a willful ignorance advocate just cheering on willful ignorance. Like, my goodness, dude, lick the boot if you want to, but you don't have to put it on main. That is cringe. Holy shit.
Like, I appreciate that they take the time to set the boot down and type that out for us, though, because
yeah.
Oh, that's good. That was funny, Bree.
Giving us a little bit of your time.
Okay, so just so everyone's aware, it's 10:45. Not that I'm saying wrap it up, but just so, because Ember, just everyone in the audience, if you're not familiar with the show, Ember is up next, and I am not sure if you will be automatically forwarded. Sorry, but if not, we'll have a link in the chat so y'all can follow Better Than Ember. And
on some channels you will, on some channels you won't. It's hit or miss. But yeah, coming up next is Learn Together Live, which we do every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Today, we're learning about a museum that had a reverse misogynistic art exhibit that did exactly the point it was trying to make. There's so much irony. It's so much fun. I hope you join us. And so the link for that is going through the chat right now. And that'll be starting in 14 minutes-ish, give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. In times like these, we need to all remember the Portland frog. Stand strong, friends.
Frogs together strong.
Thank
Frogs
you.
Together strong.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but thank you. We appreciate it. But apparently, what's wrong with America?
I mean, I'd argue that ICE is, well, it's one of the many things wrong with America, but
MAGA is what's wrong with America. And yes, Yes, we as American citizens are responsible for creating a climate where MAGA could grow. But like, what the fuck are we supposed to do at this point, right? I'll take responsibility for it if you give me a way out.
Oh,
my
goodness.
Oh, this one's so funny. So you're all trans. Didn't you hear the president declared transgender for everybody? Everyone is trans.
We
Even
all
You're
did.
trans too, Ingwar.
You
Ingwar the
didn't know?
trans.
You didn't know? Oh my goodness. You need to like
Trans
stay
for
up to date
everybody.
in the news. Gosh.
Yep. You can send your kid to school. They'll do the operation right there in the nurse's office. Your kid will come home with a new Neo badge. Well, recently they've got such an influx of doing this to students that they've expanded it to the cafeterias. Yeah.
Yikes. Yes, the 18 million illegal immigrants is what's wrong with this country, you guys. That's it. Nothing else. It has nothing to do with our.
I like how the illegal immigrants are all of a sudden the problem, right? We've had problems with legal immigrants since the Reagan administration, right? Like with people coming in and millions of people every year. They come in and they leave too. That's the thing that I always forget. Like this, they're seasonally here. But regardless, it's only because it's just like trans people. Oh, trans people just came around the last 10 years and they're all this big problem. Honey, we've been around for decades, for centuries, and we're becoming a problem because you want something to be a problem because you lost the gay marriage thing and you needed a new wedge issue. Shut up.
I know. It's just
Hey,
just
Ben.
something to talk about. Like, get over it. Mind your own business. Worry about something else.
Yeah, it's just distraction. It's just nonsense. Because, well, I mean, frankly, it's exactly what's happening here. It's idiots running around, running their mouth, trying to be provocative and own the libs to distract you from protesting, for instance. That's the only reason they're here, right? Is because of the protest on the sign, because of the instructions, the helpful tips, these sorts of things. If they can distract you, if they can dilute your message, they're protecting the big boot that they want to lick on so very badly. That's the point. It's just rage bait. It's just distraction. And while a lot of this shit we can't ignore because it's people's lives that they're playing fucking games with, we have to keep in mind they are distractions and smoke screens, and we can't take our eye off the ball. We can't forget what's important and get carried away dealing with them just being fucking rage trolls.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody, I cannot believe in my heart of hearts, as they say, I cannot believe that anybody would actually support and like be like, okay, what happened to Renee Good was cool. That's how things should be enforced in the United States. I do not believe for a second anybody thinks that if you pull out of your parking spot before a cop tells you you're ready, that they have the option to execute you. I don't think that even you trolls out there, I don't think you actually believe that you should deserve to be executed if you pull out of a spot when a officer tells you to stop.
They'd be crying if it were them. They would be crying.
And I can say from experience, dealing with internet trolls and Nazis for the past 15 years? Yeah, the second you confront them, they fold.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the example with, again, I keep bringing up Charlie Kirk, but it's because there was state issued mourning for that. Like, they put the flags at half mast because this radical extremist podcaster got shot by a rival group of right-wing extremist podcasters, and we were state mandated to mourn at the risk of losing our jobs and stuff. Like, if you aren't mourning properly for this guy, and that was a guy who got shot by one of his own people by a rival group of extreme right-wing extremists. Yeah, like, but this woman literally just pulled out of the parking spot too quickly and got executed. And you're like, oh, that's how it should go down. But yeah, the right-wing extremists shooting each other on in schoolyards, totally cool. totally acceptable. That's the way that our government, our country should be run. What the fuck? Am I living in the twilight zone here?
Feels like an alternate reality, bizarro world, like
Mhm.
upside down world, where before it
An
was like,
alt-right
don't tread on
reality.
me, and now it's like, please tread all over me. I love it. I don't want my rights. And you
Right,
shouldn't
like
have them either.
the same people with the red hats are like, oh, pedophiles, rah rah rah. It's until their guy turns out to be like the pedophile in chief, and then they're like, actually, it's not so bad, really. I mean, after all, we've been doing it in the churches for generations.
It's the American way.
It
What the
is.
hell?
It's
Like
tradition.
no values, none.
It's like if you hate pedophilia, you hate America.
Tricky, that's what we're saying. You obviously did not watch any of the video. There were multiple orders being shouted at her by multiple people at the same time. And they do that deliberately because then they can say, oh, well, she didn't listen to orders. Well, which order is the correct order? Wow. Is it that difficult to understand for, I guess
It
so.
is, but also
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
garbage trolls. They're just running
Yeah.
around with matches trying
Bunch
to
of
set dumpsters
tryhards
on
trying to piss us off. Good luck.
Well, we got a few minutes left. So does anybody want to chill before we roll, you guys?
I
Got any
mean, you know,
super chats to read?
we don't actually
I don't
that
think.
I've seen.
That's because Lil's in here.
Nope.
Otherwise, we would have super chats.
That's true. That's true. Lil dropping the super chat.
I have nothing going on myself personally. Just FYI.
I
Just my
have my
show,
new
as per
show
usual.
on Thursday
Oh, with Joe.
Politicality.
with Joe. With Joe, and there is another one in the work that might be very late Friday night. We will see how that goes. But yeah, I do politicality with Joe on Thursdays at 1:00 Eastern time now.
Sweet. Excellente. So
Oh,
make sure
yeah.
you're following
Mm-hmm.
Happy Atheist. Bree, anything?
Well, I mean, Saturdays I do my live show, live from the Hive every Saturday morning. There's going to be some polls up today. I meant to get them up yesterday, but I'm lazy. And Wednesday night we'll do a premiere of our Weekend Weird, and then Friday night we have our episode of Cryptic Corner, and this week it's going to be about the Phantom Hitchhikers. That's Friday night. So come check that out.
Oh, fun. You said Friday night?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So make sure all are subbed. Better than Ember. Ember.
That reminds me. In addition to the daily morning show, Learn Together Live, which follows the damn show, and this show most days. Bunch of other stuff. Random shows pop up from time to time, such as Transfactual in other news, but also starting this Friday, Dr. Ben and I are hosting a Bible study, which is to say, Ben's got this Bible study course from an anti-woman women's group, and we're going to go through the course. There's not much Bible because even though that's supposedly a Bible study, they don't actually talk about the Bible very much. So we're going to study the Bible the study program, and it should be fascinating. We're doing chapter 1 starting this Friday, I believe at 8 p.m. So yeah, join us for that. It should be interesting.
I bet it will be.
Before we leave, can I just say something real quick about the trolls? Somebody said something about like an AI government like being superior. You all realize how woke AI is? Like all AI is, because reality is super woke. So I don't think the AI government's going to work in your favor. I think it's going to work in ours. I think you're going to be greatly disappointed when you find out that AI objectively looking at the world is actually on our side.
That's why Elon has to constantly tweak Grok because he does be coming out with some woke stuff at times. Anyway, everyone, thank you for joining us. Sorry, Ember. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It was lovely having you here. This is a great way to start our week. I'm so thankful that I have you all and everyone in the audience. Make sure you're subbed to all of us, and we'll see you at Embers. Okay, everybody? Love you guys. Bye.